The decisions we make in the next 5 years about energy infrastructure will lock in costs and capabilities for the next 50 years and beyond. So let me be direct about what stopping our shift to renewables looks like. Not slowing, stopping. Under a delayed transition scenario, electricity prices are materially higher by 2035. Because extending ageing coal plants, gas at global commodity prices, and relying on fuel supply chains we do not control, is more expensive than building new solar, wind, storage and hydro. The green iron and green hydrogen markets that will be worth trillions over the next 30 years do not wait for Australia. Germany is already signing long-term agreements with Morocco. Japan is looking at Canada. And if we're not ready to play and win in those markets, just as the Dutch and the Chinese before us, the contracts go elsewhere. They do not come back. And there is the sovereign question. Australian sun and wind can't get blocked in the Strait of Hormuz. Let's go back to Gladstone. Rio Tinto has committed $7.5 billion to help build renewable projects to keep those smelters running. But all of it needs to be built, connected and dispatched on time. If it's not, the smelter's economics do not work. And if the economics do not work, 4,500 jobs and decades of industrialised capability are at risk. Multiply that across the country. That is the pivotal point. From building renewable energy to building an economy on renewable energy. And it's our regional centres and towns that will benefit from the economic activity this investment will bring and is already bringing. I was in Cooma this month visiting the Snowy 2.0 project, and what struck me was not just the engineering, it was Cooma itself, the town. Cooma, not long ago, had for leases signs lining its main street. Shops were empty, young people were leaving. Today, Cooma has been revitalised. The restaurants are full and a $19 million accommodation development is underway. Yes, Snowy 2.0 is a multi-billion dollar project. It also has a 150-year lifespan. The original Snowy Mountain scheme, built between 1949 and 1974, cost more than $20 billion in today's dollars, but it powered Australia's industrial growth for half a century. Snowy 2.0 is exactly the same kind of intergenerational decision. It will store the equivalent of 26 million home batteries and underwrite the reliability of the eastern grid for generations. But let me be practical about what is required, because we can't insult each other that this has been smooth or easy. Critical infrastructure like transmission must be delivered on time. A 1-year delay to a major transmission project increases residential electricity prices by up to 20%. The $20 billion Rewiring the Nation plan is funded, but what is needed now is execution. Yes, it's hard, but new transmission has always been hard. In the 1960s, a town of 7,000 people tied itself in knots over the proposal to run a high-tension line down Dane Street in Queanbeyan, outside of Canberra. The municipal council debated it for months. The line got built, the town grew by 40,000 people, the poles nobody wanted to look at are long forgotten, but the energy they carry is not. And this is urgent because coal exits are locked in. What powered the past will not power the future. Up to 75% of Australia's remaining coal fleet is expected to retire by 2035. That is not a policy choice, it's an engineering and economics decision.
You've been in this space, you have been an advocate for clean energy and the transformation and transition for a long time now. In sort of 15 seconds or less, is my favourite sort of, what gives you optimism?
The thing that gives me optimism is the passion that people have in the sector. And I know that it's quite wonky and technical at times, but there is a real passion for actually getting this right, for keeping the momentum up and making sure that it benefits not only Australians today, but Australians for many generations to come.
Yeah, and I segue to the question too. I think the passion is there and understanding where the mutual benefit can be had, and also just making sure that people understand what the concerns are, which I think is at the foundation of making sure we deal with all the issues, we deal with them transparently and get the responses and the right outcomes that will allow this progress to be sustained. So thank you so much for joining us on stage.